What's up, EGA Tricks? What up, man? Chacarone. La Liz. What up, Dirty Bird? It's Andy. Smash that thumbs up, guys. So, how do you guys like the title? Tyler X, what's up? Smash that thumbs up. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of that title? You know, that guy is a hot topic right now. Hot topic. Especially with everything that's going around in Tijuana and what's going around in Sinaloa. Yeah. What do you guys think about that guy? I know a lot about that guy. I'll give you guys an inside story about that guy. What's up, Chacaron? My boy. What's up, Vato? Yes, sir. I know a lot about that dude, man. You know, a lot of people. I had the opportunity of meeting him when he was working with the guys from Jalisco at the time. Well, his main loyalty right now, Chacaron, is that he is. This is how it is with him. The CAF or the Cartel Ariano Felix doesn't claim him anymore. What happened with him is that he rose so high in the ranks in their organization that he started thinking that he was untouchable, that he could make his own decisions without consulting anybody. So he never got kicked out. What he did was he branched off on his own, but he kept their name. You know, he kept you know, him his loyalty always belongs to one place, and that's to Tijuana. He believes that if you live in Tijuana and you're from Tijuana, that you should only work for the Tijuana cartel, which I think is, me and him shared that one belief together when we talked. You know? Is he going to be a strong, well, I'm going to tell you something about La Rana and Achilles. Now, La Rana and Achilles, they've been for a long time working for Del Mayo, but I think I was one of the first persons on YouTube. If you guys remember, look up some of my old videos. I talked about them, and I talked about how they weren't loyal to Del Mayo anymore. Yes, sir, Chacaron, loyal over to the hometown over anything. That's right. 46 Flame, what's up? And no matter what, a lot of people. Well, when I met him, we rewind a little bit. When I met him, he was working for the CJNG. He originally started working with El CAF. When Chapo took over the Plaza in Tijuana, he switched sides. He's always been on the right side of everything. And one thing we and him talked about was fentanyl. And fentanyl's a big thing right now, and he saw the money in fentanyl, but he said the same thing I did. He saw the destruction of what a fentanyl would do to people. What's up, TJ? Nice to see you. Don't know who you are, but what up? And he was really against the fentanyl business. Now, he's always been. JB Bustos, what's up? De Aguililla, Michoacan. The Bustos, if anybody knows anything about the Busto family, they're pretty famous in Michoacan. It's a big family, They're like the Garibais, they're like the Valencias, they're a big family. My family's married into some Bustos. We got some Bustos in my family, so shout out to the Bustos from Michoacan. That's a good family name right there, JB. What can I say about El Flakito? That's a guy that has always been on the right side of everything. La Liz, what's up? He's been Trippy Latino, what's up, homeboy? 575, man. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now that's a fucking place. Let me tell you guys something about Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't get it twisted. That place is fucking hard and like a motherfucker. Yeah, I heard about the Reyes family in Michoacan. There's a lot of them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Respected is right. Bustos is respected. Um, you got to give it to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I worked there for a little bit, guys, and that is a crazy ass place. But to tell you the truth, guys, Flaquito's always been on the winning side of everything. He's always taken a smart aspect to it. He grew up around Tijuana. Yeah, Albuquerque gets real active. He didn't ever hesitate to make himself and move up the ladder. Um, you know, but his main goal has always been to unite, Tijuana. He saw the importance of the Plaza of Tijuana. When I met him, my nephew, rest in peace, Chewy, was working for Flaquito at the time. He was actually one of the, I think, maybe 6, 7 guys Flaquito had working with him that was going with him everywhere. Um, my nephew rode with him everywhere. Um, a lot of people say that's why my nephew died because um, he ended up working for the CGNG, and when he was working for them, they were on the up and up, and when he got killed, they were on the way out. Tijuana's a big plaza, and Sinaloa is never gonna let that go. They're always gonna fight for it. Don Mayo has always had a strong hold in Tijuana. A lot of people don't think that Don Mayo has a control of Tijuana. Um, he's got a strong hold. He's got about, I would say, about 60%. If you were to divide Tijuana into sections, Don Mayo controls about 60% of Tijuana. 20%, 30% goes to the Ariano Felix or what's left of them, you know, and then 10% would be between El Flaquito and CJNG, you know. Um, do the Chapos have a place there? Yeah, they do. They own a little part of the plaza. Don't get me wrong. They've been trying to make their assertion into the plaza more stronger, especially after their father. Remember when their father was there, the stakes were different. At the time, Tijuana during the early '90s and the late 2000s. I mean the early 2000s. Chapo owned about 40% of Tijuana. You know, yeah, Flaquito was born in Tijuana. Um, After Chapo went to prison, Don Mayo escalated himself more and established himself more in Tijuana. And don't get it twisted, guys. Don Mayo's been in Tijuana longer than I've been born. You know, um, he really liked Tijuana. He lived in Tijuana. His family was kidnapped in Tijuana. So, I mean, he has a really good understanding of how Tijuana works. Just like he knows how Los Angeles works because he's lived here in Los Angeles. He lived in Riverside County. A lot of people don't know that Don Mayo lived in Riverside County. He lived in LA County. He lived in Orange County. Even spent some time up in Bakersfield for a little bit, you know. But Flaquito's always been on the uppity up. Right now, he's definitely being sought after because this is the thing. Aquiles and La Rana have definitely cemented their hold on Tijuana. They, for a while now, have been controlling most of the beach areas, which have a lot of money. Ensenada, Playas de Tijuana, Rosarito. They definitely have had their foot there, and not too many people can say they haven't. Now, Rana and Aquiles first started off working for the old man, Don Mayo. Yeah, he's still in California. They started working for Don Mayo. As they got bigger and they got better and they got more in control of Tijuana, they started breaking away from Don Mayo. The reason why is because, you know, this is the problem with any organization. You got guys that join your organization, and they're natural leaders, and they don't like being stuck in the position of second best. It's in our nature to be the top dog, and these guys definitely have that in them, you know. Um, El Flaquito's one of them. Now, a lot of people don't understand and get a lot of confusion with the truce that the Ariano Felixes have with the Chapitos. It's not actually the truth of the Ariano Felix. It's not a truce. What it is that Flaquito, a lot of people think that he's a representative of the CAF, of the Ariano Felixes, which he's not anymore. He's kind of his own cell. He still rides the banner of the Ariano Felixes. You know, he's kind of like a homie from a neighborhood that nobody likes, but you can't take away that he's from the neighborhood, you know? And that's what Flaquito is. You know, the CAF don't really like him, but they can't deny him, you know? He's a hometown hero kid, you know? So the Chapito saw the importance in him. And remember, the relationship that El Flaco has with El Ninis is unbreakable. They're like family, they're like cousins. So you're not going to break that that tight hold they have with each other. Now, El Flaquito, you know, a lot of people call him a backstabber. A lot of people call him a person who would be, yeah, that's right, Chacaron, my boy. I'm not monetized, guys. Chacaron's absolutely right. I'm not monetized. I don't get paid for this. The information I give you guys is information that I know firsthand, and it's not something that I read off the newspapers or that I get off of a daily news or stuff like that. This is stuff that I talk to my friends because whether I like it or not, my friends are still involved in life. Even though I'm not involved in life in that manner, you know, we bullshit and talk about things, and that's how it is. You know, what do I think about Panther going solo? You know, Liz, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of these guys go solo because they think that they can achieve things on their own. Don't get me wrong. Um, Going solo isn't bad, but as long as you have the approval of the jefes. If you don't have the approval of the higher ups, then you're pretty much fucked, you know? You know, thank you, 46 Flame. You know, there's nothing wrong with being independent. The only problem is that you better make sure that you got the okay from upstairs to be independent. Don't start getting too big for your britches, you know? You know? It won't you won't get anywhere thinking that you're a boss or that you're somebody important because remember these old men have sweat, blood and tears. What's up, EDU? A lot of these dudes have put a lot of time in. A lot of these guys are second, third generation mafiosos, so you're not gonna get anywhere with them. Only where you're gonna get is end up with a bullet hole in the back of a hole somewhere in a dark, dark, dark cerro. You know, in a dark, dark hill. You know, and Flaquito is a person right now of interest to everyone. Now, a faction of the Sinaloa cartel, which is Don Mayo's people and La Rana and Aquiles, are kind of mad at him because supposedly he stole the load. Now, how true is that? You know, it could be true, you know, or you could see it that they didn't want to pay the tax for passing a load through Tijuana, and Flaquito took it upon himself to what we call decommission the load. Um, you know, and Don Mayo and Aquiles and La Rana, I think, in my own personal opinion that I heard from someone is that Aquiles and La Rana still use Don Mayo for buying loads, but they're not working for him no more. But they do use him as a way of buying loads. You know, I mean, how are you gonna compare to the connections Don Mayo has to anyone else? You know, I mean, the Colombians, um, you know, people in Costa Rica, you know, people in other countries, Dominican Republic, all that. You know, was El Treble taken out to send a message to Flaquito? I think they were going after him too. I think they just weren't able to get him. You know, here's a guy like I told you again who grew up in Tijuana. He knows the ins and outs of the city, and it's hard to get a hometown kid. Flaquito don't venture too much out of Tijuana, you know. And what happened there at that car meet was was definitely, their message was to kill El Trebo. La Rana and Achilles and them took it real personal. That load was taken. But I don't think that Flaco did it as a to diss La Rana or to diss Achilles. I think it was more the of to show that you got to pay to pass loads through here. And back in the old days, that's how it used to be. The Ariano Felixes weren't really drug dealers. They weren't really, they weren't really doing any of that. They were just getting money from, you know, other drug cartels or other drug leaders passing loads through their city, and they were happy and content with that. Until a lot of these drug leaders and cartel members started not paying the tax, and that's when things started getting sideways. And I think Flaquito's taking an old page out of the book of the Ariano Felixes, you know, especially when they're using um, the whole city of Tijuana. Flaquito knows the ins, the outs of all that. Yeah, thank you guys for deleting that one. That one's bad. Um, it has consequences. A lot of these guys believe that they don't have to pay anybody to pass a load to Tijuana. Mayo Machete, what's up, brother? And that causes a conflict. Now, does Flaquito deserve to be paid the money to pass a load? Some of the bosses might say, "Who's this kid?" You know, who is this kid? Who is this kid? And I think Flaquito sent a message to the whole organization of Don Mayo, La Rana, Achilles, and anyone else that, hey, I can take your load from you. The guys who did it, they're hometown kids. And like Chacaron said, you gotta take pride in hometown. And a lot of these guys, that's what they're really upset about. Tijuana, at one time was very unified, you know, but now with all these, Sinaloa in there, the CJ&G did a really good job of breaking up, what was left of Ariano Felix. And I don't mean by killing them or extorting them or doing any of that. I mean by like buying them out, making them jump ship or being a chapolin, like people would say. They definitely did a good job of that. El Flaquito, some people have been asking me, emailing me, do I think that is his time up? It might be. Me personally, I don't think it is. I think El Flaquito is going to move on. Um, I think at the end he might be the last man standing in Tijuana. Why? That's his backyard. Um, at the end, all these guys are outsiders trying to get in, and that's definitely not going to happen on his watch, or or under his control. He's got a lot of people who like him around town. As bad as it may sound, he's not an outsider. He's a kid who grew up. He's a home product, as someone would say. Home product, and it's hard to defeat a home product. Even if you have more guns, even if you have more people, you have more money, you have more connections. To beat someone in their own backyard is always difficult. They always have that advantage, and Flaquito is definitely a person who has that advantage. And he's been around for a long time. Just because he's young doesn't mean he doesn't know any better. Who controls el norte la zona del norte in Tijuana? I think, personally, in my opinion, Don Mayo does. You know, yeah, he's kind of like a Robin Hood in one aspect. Manny Gonzalez, is Muleta still with Jalisco? You know, I haven't heard anything about Muletas in a long time. Anything about Muletas. Um, he was a dangerous guy, and remember, Muletas was a headache for the Ariano Felixes for a long time. You know, him and his compadre were, you know, but I think with the killing of his compadre La Perra, he definitely got the message. You know, he might have just he didn't go into retirement, but what he did was he kind of, you know, faded away with the wind. You know, some of these guys are smart enough to have businesses, to have um, other ventures going for them. You know what I mean? And Muletos was one of them. You know, from my understanding, when I used to know about Muletos, is he had his own car wash. I think he had two tortilla stores. You know, even when he got out of prison, he had money. You know, so he definitely knew what he was doing. And a lot of people don't understand that. They have a hard time respecting that. You know, a lot of these guys, they learn their lessons when they go to prison. You know, they learn to wash their money. They learned from other guys what to do, and maybe this guy learned his lesson. You know, maybe, you know, it could be true, man. A lot of people don't take it, you know, for what it is, and a lot of these guys do. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, learn their lessons in the fact that they try to clean up their money. You know, I I I was told by a DEA agent once that that's one of the reasons they arrest most guys, because they start cleaning up their money. They start buying businesses, and once you start buying businesses and you start cleaning up your money, it's really hard for the government to get you. You know, in Muletas in Tijuana, um, at one point he had about 100, 200 guys working for him, and he was on the way up, but he was self-destructive in the point that he used to like to drink. He used to like to party a lot. You know, Tijuana is a border state. You know, it's a border state, and it's a party state. So, you know, sometimes people give in to their temptations. And Muletas might have not been the you know what everyone thought. Eduardo Robles, can you talk about how China has underground businesses in Mexico? Yeah, they got tons of businesses in Mexico. El Fantasma, money doesn't really mean anything today. Mexico is becoming more third world country. In one aspect, it's becoming a third world country, but in another aspect, it's becoming an economic powerhouse, because you can't compare it with their work salaries. You know, a lot of these companies, you know, can't afford to stay afloat in the states. You know, so they move down to Mexico. Three crazy guys. If you're gonna go live or video, show your face, bro. Yeah, yeah. It's more intriguing this way, brother. If you're gonna go live or video, show your face, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Phantasma, I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good, man. I'm had a little bit of a scare this year. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It says Susie Boozy 5000. That's right. Shadow God. I like that. Not happening. Three guys laugh out loud. Huh? Chacaron. You tell him, baby. Um, you know, um, you got to give it to Flakito, though. I mean, he's always been on the right side, you know? A lot of people don't give him the credit where he's at, but you know, only time will tell. His actions, you know, might not. Yeah, that's right, La Liz. You know what's up. Um, his actions might be a little. He might. Look, I'll tell you this much. He's riding a real thin line. You know. Nah, Rick, you shouldn't be worried about your safety, bro. Yep. EDU, what's up, brother? Yeah, you don't. Thank you, Shadow God. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your safety over there, man. Cali be wild and got to say Mexico sometimes looks like a good place to be. Yeah, I mean, in one aspect, like I always tell people, if you're not involved in that life, you know, it's hard for them for them to do anything to you. Marcus 469. Do I think Chino Anthrax is alive? You know, I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I'll tell you on a personal level, not to get off too much at Flakito, and I don't want to get too deep into this. I personally have a homeboy that was in San Diego federal prison with Chino Anthrax. He was in the top tier, and Chino Anthrax was on the bottom tier. Now he said Chino Anthrax had a very Chino Anthrax was a very fit guy. He said when he was in federal prison with him, he said Chino Anthrax was very picky. He never ate anything that the state provided for him. He used to order food from upstairs, and if people know anything about jail, there's guys that make really good prison food out of the stuff they get in commissary. It's a big business in there. If you can cook, XYZ, what's up, brother? If you can cook, you know, you can make a really good living in prison cooking for other people. In my experience, when I had money and I was doing okay in prison, I used to have people make me Chinese food, um, you know, make you all sorts of plates, you know, chilorio tacos. Um, and from my understanding, Chino Anthrax worked out a lot and he took care of his health. If you guys ever see the photos of his death, um, if you ever see photos of his death or see anything, God, someone definitely time out this fool, man. Um, if anyone ever sees um, pictures of his, you know, supposed body, um, he he um, he doesn't look like Chino Anthrax. This guy's all sucked up. His arms are real thin. And let me tell you something, guys. Chino Anthrax was an avid gym guy. He worked out a lot, took care of his health. He didn't have any vices, you know, besides women, which most of us do. He didn't indulge in drugs, from what my homeboy told me. Um, so I wouldn't say anything about El Comandante Anthrax, you know. Is he still alive? You know, that'd be nice if he was ever to exit out the game and make it out, but you know, he had a lot of hatred towards him. You know, the Chapitos being one of them. You guys got to understand something about the Chapitos that I know personally. Heard this through two people that I've met. Who the Chapitos are very jealous. They don't like people too much. They're not guys you want to make mad, and you know, they definitely have their own style of things, and I think that they they don't. I mean, look at what happened to Mini Leak. They used to get mad at Mini Leak because Mini Leak started getting a lot of songs written by him, even one by Gerardo Ortiz, which became a top Billboard chart hit. And they were pretty jealous about that. You know, they were really jealous about that. That here's a guy who was under them, whose dad worked for their dad, and now he was getting so famous, you know? I don't think anybody kidnapped that dude. You know, you know, Chino's a smart guy. Remember, Chino's one of the guys that killed one of the Ariano Felix brothers. And you guys got to give it to Chino. Here's a guy who thought of a plan on how to get into a party full of security guards. You know, he pulled up in a little car, you know, jumped out as a clown, was able to walk inside, shoot the dude, have the gun jam, you know, and still kill the guy off. So, and people don't know that he ran through the sand, he ran through the beach, having people shooting at him and everything, and he made it. You know what I mean? Maybe he might have been. You never know, man. A lot of these dudes, you know, they get mad. Oh man, that's messed up. Make a rap when you're done talking. Yeah, guys, if you guys enjoy this stream, my Cash App's open, man. If anybody wants to make a little something right there, my Cash App is open. I think I just pooped my pants. It could have been the Chapos, man. What's up, Peyton? Glad you're on the show. Um, that's my opinion of Chino Anthrax. You know, I don't have anything negative to say about the guy. You know, he's a kid from the streets that rose to the ranks to the top. You know. Yeah, he's got 2 kids, from my understanding. Yeah, he's got a boy and a girl. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, he's got 2 kids. No, man, I'm not smoking weed no more. Fantasma, I quit that, man. I quit the weed, man. I quit the weed. I quit the weed. Yeah, I quit it, man. I just thought it'd be beneficiary for my health, you know? You know? So I quit the weed. It was kind of hard, but I quit it, you know? No, I'm no longer Rastafarian, brother. Yeah, I'm just trying to live my life, man. How's that been for you, OG? It's been all right, man. Thank you, 3 crazy guys. Yeah, it's beneficial for money too, you know. Chuck around said I can't put the bong down. It's not easy, man. It's not easy at all, man. It's not easy, man. Yep. What's my A1C? It's like well, last time it was like 8.2. I don't know what it is right now. Playboy 1300. What's up, man? What's up, my boy? Hey guys, if you guys want to listen to some good music, check out my boy Playboy 1300. You ain't gonna see nothing more fire than my boy. You know, if you guys like, you know, good quality rap music from a Chicano artist who's putting it down, who's living the life, my boy Playboy 1300 is, man. That boy's no joke, man. You know, he's a prime of example of a Sureño. You know, a lot of you guys don't know about Sureños who live up north. A lot of you guys don't know the history. A lot of you guys think that, oh, to be a Sureño, you have to live on Bakersfield down. That's not true, guys. If you know anything about the history of the M or anything about us, you know that one of our founding fathers was from Sacktown, from Sacramento. So, you know, shout out to all my northern Sureños who put it down. You know, they live the life every day. Every day is a risk for them. You know, every day they're sticking their neck out to show everybody the southern way. And it's not a, you know, being a Sureño, being a Southsider isn't just like, hey, I'm a Southsider, I'm a Sureño. No, it's like a way of living, homie. It's a way you handle yourself, the way you have culture, you have culturas, you know? What your morals are. You know what I mean? And my boy Playboy 100, you know, he's the man, 1300. Yeah, man, hey Playboy. You know, and if you guys don't know, my boy Playboy made a song for me, man. I have it. I have that song. You know what I mean? It was a good song too, man. I really liked it, man. And shout outs to you, Playboy, man. I thank you for that song, man. You know, he made a song for me, and that's great. You know, I didn't pay him money to do it. You know, he did it out of the kindness of his heart. You know, and I think that's how it should be, man. Good night, man. Good night, Fantasma. You have a good one. All right, take care of yourself, brother. You know, if you guys want to leave something in my comments, you know, for Playboy, leave it right there. You guys want to ask him questions, you know. I might even do an interview with my boy Playboy. You want to do an interview, Playboy? Tell everybody what it's like to be a Sureño up north. Is that sound out on YouTube? It's not. You know what? Hey, Playboy, that would be a good idea. If you still have that song in your catalog, That'd be good for you to put it out on YouTube so everybody can enjoy it. Yep. That'd be cool, man. What do you guys think of that? Put it out there, my boy. I give you permission. You know, you wrote it, homie. You wrote it for me, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my corazon, homie, from the cora. You know, from another carnal to another carnal. You know, you wrote that for me, and hey, man, I appreciate it. You know, if you want to put it out there, homie. By all means, you have my permission. She said, "Fire, let's go." That's right, La Liz. Look at man, look at Playboy. Even the girls want to hear it. You know, the girls. Hey, and remember what Too Short said, Playboy. If the hyenas want it, give it to them. You know what I mean? If the hyenas want it, give it to them. You know, if that's what they want, give it to them. You know. I got a question, my brother. What's up, man? Go ahead. This is the OG Black Q&A. Yeah, he said yeah. You know, so from that big bad East Side San Jose. Tell him, tell him, tell him, Playboy. Giannis fan 34. That's right, brother. Look at La Liz. She got a smile on her face. She got a smile on her face. She's one of my favorite people on this YouTube channel, guys. She doesn't say much, you know, but she's very supportive, you know. Do you like San Diego? It's all right, Shadow. I'm not gonna say I like it. I'm not a big fan of San Diego. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm not a. I'm not a big fan of San Diego. I've been to San Diego lots of times. My dad took me to the San Diego Padres stadium when it was called Jack Murphy Stadium, when they used to call it the Jack. You know, you couldn't go downtown right there where the stadium is at, because that's what they would do to you. They'd jack you, you know, by the river. But it is what it is. But hey, Playboy, if you wanna stick out that song on, yeah, she's a loyal subscriber. Hey, she's a loyal homie. You know what I mean? She's from the A Town, Anaheim. You know, that's right, Playboy. Yeah, Playboy, if you could do me that favor, big dog, put that song out on YouTube, man. Put that song out on YouTube, you know? Trippy Latino 570 said Anacrime. Hell yeah, Trippy Latino. Anacrime is right. She's not an Anacrimer, she's an Anawina. My homegirls from Anaheim, that's what we used to call them, Anawinas, because they were always drinking. Oh man, thank you, Giannis fan 34. Thank you. I hope, man, I make it. You know, I never made this channel to glorify or idolize my life, or to make me sound like I'm better than people or any of it. I made this channel especially so people could get the real understanding from someone who's lived it. Oh, you're in Jalisco chilling. Be careful, Playboy. Be careful, my boy, out there. It's hot water everywhere. There's lots of haters out there. You know what I mean? And you know they don't really like us in Mexico. You know? What's the name of OG Black song? That's up to Playboy, guys. That's up to Playboy, man. Playboy said it's called El Traficante. El Traficante, huh? Huh? Or El Gallo, ¿verdad? El Gallo Traficante. Yeah, man, my boy Playboy wrote a good song, man. Is that Ghostface from Call of Duty? No, it's not, brother. But Yukui, thank you for checking it out. Thank you for checking it out. No, man, you know, this channel, guys, to tell you the truth is, I don't like to compare myself to anybody, but the only person I could really compare myself to is JC from Wrong to Strong. I've been busted in a Mexican jail. I've been busted in a U.S. jail and a U.S. prison. Um, I worked in Mexico. I worked for my family for a long time. I worked independently on my own. Um, I ran my own neighborhood. I've ran the county jail before. You know, um, I've done a lot, man. And by the good graces of God, I'm still here. And all I really want to achieve is for people to know the real stories. Not something you read in the paper, or to be one sided. I'm not a one sided guy, man. I don't. Um, my family personally does not like Don Mayo, and I won't ever take away credit from that old man. The deals he made with the government are unbreakable. And like someone once told me, you just chose. Some people just tell me you chose the wrong side. Both trippy Latino. I grew up in both, brother. Back and forth, back and forth. Mexico too. The DD files, nice. What's up, DD? But I'm not one sided. I made this channel so people would get the original version. And they could learn and not fall into the same traps I did. In this life, like me and Shadow used to say, all you get is death, prison, and bad health. Wolf Slayer, what's up, brother? That's all we always said. That's what you get in this life. You get death, prison, and bad health. And I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. I spent a good majority of my life in jail, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I can honestly tell you right now that I do regret stealing time away from my daughters and from my ex-wife, and not giving them the proper attention that I should have gave it to them as I was supposed to. Little chicken nugget. No, I can't get sturdy. My legs all shot out right now. No, I have not heard from Croatia, man. I have not. Sorry, bro. What did you think about Shadow going to prison? I thought that was fucked up. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. People think that I don't like OG shit stains, but I do. OG Shadow. A lot of people are like, and I don't mean to call him any names. That's just a name that I've heard people call him on YouTube, and I think it's kind of fucked up. But you know, um, I don't wish Shadow no bad. I don't. Yeah, EGA Tricks. Flakito worked at one time under his supervision. So yeah, I would think he did. Croatia, I hope he's all right, brother. He was over there and by the Ukraine and all that shit. So he was in the mix of all that. And a lot of people don't get how important that area was where Croatia lived at. It was pretty hectic over there. He lived in a pretty hectic area. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, guys. I try to keep kids out of the life that I lived, and I wouldn't want my life on any kid. Playboy 1300 could probably confirm, homie, guys, what we lived. What kind of life we lived, especially growing up in a system. It's not it's not something glamorous, man. You lose a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have respect for each other. Yeah, I just fuck around. I have a real lax attitude. I talk shit. But yeah, shout outs to Shadow. He ain't a bad dude, man. At least he's sticking his neck out there like I am and trying to get people the real stories. And a lot of people don't give him credit because they say, oh, he's an anthrax. I never said he wasn't, but it's kind of hard if you think he's a sicario. You know what I mean? I don't ever think Shadow was a sicario. For my information, he worked for the old man. He trafficked guns. He got caught and went to prison. Yeah, yeah, you got it, Wolf Slayer. Me and him, he used to call me all the time. on a daily basis to get information, you know. And then, you know, sometimes you guys, it's like anybody else, just like Flakito, the money got to his head. They blow up and they forget about, you know, they forget about the little people. You know, like me, I am not monetized. I don't get paid for this shit. I do it because I think people should be informed. Yeah, it hit you deep in the soul. I bet it did, man. You like that one when about me getting extradited, huh? That was a good one. A lot of people like that one, you know. And I've been around, you know, Shadow when two or three of the people on the show got killed. You know, I've had some losses on my show too. I had not gonna get into it, but I had someone kill himself on my show. Not on my show, but one of my subscribers killed himself. I had another one die. Um, you know, I've had people threaten me. Yeah, there you go. That was a good one. Um, you know, so, you know, we've taken some personal hits, and it is what it is. You just got to keep going, and you got to thank God every day for breath in your lungs, and for, you know, I like the story, the one where you handled the lunch beef at the jail. Yeah, the peanut butter beef. That's right. No, Mr. Fairlong, that didn't work out. Yeah, one of the dirty birds did commit suicide. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My machete is absolutely right. I actually have some brothers on the YouTube community from if you guys want to go check out some guys that I watch all the time and I talk to them on the phone, it's WF 24/7. It's called Living Waters Farms, and you know these guys are real deep in the gamecock community, so you know I mess with them all the time. Yeah, that does suck, Fairlong. You're absolutely right. You know, things happen in life, and you know I don't wish anybody any bad, and I hope no one wishes bad on me. OG is a great negotiator. I'm all right, man. I hold my own, dude. I can't toot my horn too much. You know, if you guys want to drop a little something on my Cash App is open. Go ahead and drop a little something. If you guys like the content of the show, I'm gonna try to bring you guys some videos, but these lives will be coming up all the time, guys. I will be doing the lives for you guys and bringing you guys stuff like I did today about El Flaquito. You know what I mean? Thank you, Chacaron. You know, a lot of you guys, you know, don't know the real stories about these guys, and you just hear in the media, oh, this guy did this guy did that. But you know, you need to hear how these guys think, how these guys were raised. You know, I don't care what anyone thinks. I know for a fact when I talked to Flaquito before he got famous, when my nephew was one of his escoltas. Rest in peace, El Chuy. Pero I talked to Flaquito, and his plans were definitely big. You know what I mean? What's your mouth moving in the mask, but you are talking? Well, yeah, it moves when I talk. Look at. You know? Yeah, it moves, brother. It moves. You know, I talk, it moves. But I hope you guys enjoy the content. It's Friday night. Be safe. Don't go out if you don't have to. Smash that thumbs up. Um, might have to get a new channel. Maybe get, you know, you know. Um, but we'll see what it is, guys. You guys have a good night. It's your boy OG Black, and I'm out. That's right, Andy. That's right.